Hi, and welcome to our Microapps customer story, the Municipality of Hollands Kroon presentation. In this presentation, we are going to look at a customer case that we did at Rawworks together with the Municipality of Hollands Kroon. It's one of the first customers in the Netherlands to use Microapps, and especially the first municipality, I think, in the Netherlands that uses Microapps. So we want to take you on the journey why Hollands Kroon has chosen to use Microapps, and also some technical aspects of the implementation. So I am Chris Twiest. I'm the technology officer at Rawworks. You can see all my contact information in the slide. I'm also a Citrix technology advocate, and I blog on workspaceguru.com, and I also blog for Tech Target. I have done the implementation at Hollands Kroon together with Frank. Frank, yeah.
Hi. Yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Frank van Hoolwerff. I'm an IT advisor at the Municipality of Hollands Kroon. I am responsible for advising on new IT technology, basically.
Yeah, so Frank and I started this project way back in 2019. We started brainstorming about the next workplace for Hollands Kroon, and that was even when Microapps weren't not even out yet. So Microapps came together while we are bringing this new workplace into production. So it was great working together with Frank and implementing those Microapps. So the agenda for today is, let's first take a look at what does a municipality do in the Netherlands, because this is different for each country, has different jobs that the municipality does. Then we're going to take a look in how work is done inside of Hollands Kroon, and we're going to take a little bit of a look about Hollands Kroon. Then we are going to go over working in 2019 with the old Citrix experience of the Municipality of Hollands Kroon, and working in 2020 with the new Citrix experience. And lastly, we will look at the Microapps especially, so accelerating work with the Microapps. And we're going to go over some business cases and some demos, and also show some return of investments there. So what does a municipality do in the Netherlands? Well, Dutch municipalities are in charge of many tasks and responsibilities. These include urban planning, like where do we need to place the street lights, where do we place garbage bins, benches, parks, all that kind of stuff. All the planning is done by the municipalities. Traffic and transport, so how are the roads going to the municipality? Education, so how are the schools functioning? I think that, Frank, you can tell this. I think municipalities are even responsible that students show up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we monitor their behavior if they are going to school.
Yeah. So that's also something that they do. Welfare and social affairs, it is, of course, making sure that everyone is feeling happy in the municipality. And this is, of course, now a big one with Corona. There's a lot of pressure at the municipalities to make sure that everyone's welfare and social affairs is doing good. Welfare is also, of course, giving people who are not able to work, make sure that they get their financials in order and a welfare check.
Yeah.
Councils and rates, and the last one is also a really big one, accepting applications for Dutch passports and driver's licenses. So when we want to have a new passport, we have to go to our municipality and say, I want a passport.
No, I have to correct you there. We do not have people in to require a new one. We are also one of the few municipalities in the Netherlands that do it another way. You go to our website, you order it, and we come to your house to arrange the things. So also when the driver's license is ready, it's printed, or your passport or your ID card, we will go to your house and give it to you. So
so that is something that we touch on a little bit later also, that is that Hollands Kroon is doing things differently. That's great. So can you tell more about that, Frank? What it's like work inside Hollands Kroon?
Yeah, I can elaborate about that. Hollands Kroon is a fusion municipality. So there were four municipalities, and they were fused to one. And yeah, if you read the slide, you can see we have a really big ground to cover.
Big for the Netherlands.
Big for the Netherlands, yeah, of course. We are a small country. And a fun fact is that if you use Microsoft Azure, the data center for West Europe is actually situated in our municipality. So that's when they say it's a data center Amsterdam, for bigger countries, you would believe that is Amsterdam, but it's not Amsterdam. It's 45-50 minutes drive from Amsterdam.
But the fun fact, of course, is when you choose to run your Citrix cloud in Europe, it will most likely be run apart on the West Europe data center. So the Citrix workspace is running in the Municipality of Hollands Kroon. So that's awesome. We even have a picture of it. So here you can see this is Azure in Municipality of Hollands Kroon. And another thing that really also shows Hollands Kroon is all the greenhouses that are behind it. I think that, Frank, you are one of the municipalities that produces a lot of food, I think.
Yeah, but not only for our country, for the entire world.
Yeah, so those greenhouses really provide a whole part of the world with food.
We export it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, another thing, a fun fact about our organization. Let's call it organization. We have no work hours. We work with results. So the traditional way of working was you work from 9 to 5, show up, and if you want the day off, you will plan it. You have to go by your colleagues of, hey, it's okay if I take that week off. Well, that's still a thing. It's nice to tell your colleagues that you're going on a holiday, but if you start working at 2 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock, in the middle of the night, just how you feel like it, if you get your results done, we're okay with that. Just be there for the results and not just to fill a spot so we can see you sitting in an office and that we know you're there. No, we just want to see the results. We have no vacation days. So traditionally, most companies have like 23 or 26 vacation days in the Netherlands, and we have none. It's the same with the results at this point. If you get your results done, you can take more off. If you don't get your results done, you take less off.
So the people working at Hollands Kroon, they really have a big responsibility to get their deadlines and their tasks done, but you're not telling them that they have to do it within these boundaries. You can only do your deadlines and tasks between 9 and 5, and then you can take a 1 week paid vacation. It's really these are your deadlines, and whatever time you want to do it, or whatever, you just make sure that those results are done. So that is really a new way of working, right?
Yeah, it is. And like if you can see in this slide, if you see in the background, that's actually our office space. So it's not a trendy coffee bar around the corner. No, this is how our office is looking like. And it's just for gathering. We have a few actual workspaces for people that need to get out of their house because their kids are driving them crazy. But there are not enough spaces for the whole organization to work inside the building. It's only for meetings. So you work from home or from whatever, but not from the office. The office is only intended to business meetings.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here on the picture is literally your guys' town hall, but there isn't really a town hall anymore. There's not the traditional town hall where everyone is sitting at the desk and working. It is you work from home, and if you need a colleague, then you make an appointment to meet them in this trendy cafe that we're seeing here, that is your workspace. So that is really different than most municipalities work, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like we were stating before, passports, ID cards, driver's license, we deliver you them at home. You are the customer as our resident, so we do it like that. Also nice to know is that we were one of the first municipalities to go into the cloud with our servers and workspace, and that is a thing that we are adopting along the way. So we are going for cloud first and not going for like the old days with the hardware on premise. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, so the key takeaway about this slide is, of course, that the Municipality of Hollands Kroon is doing things really different than most municipalities here in the Netherlands. I think most companies even, with no work hours and that kind of stuff, no limit on vacation days, and really putting responsibility in the employee and being a really, really modern company. Cool. So let's take a look at how you guys were working in 2019 with Citrix. And as you can see here, I already see the old logo of Citrix. So can you tell me something about that, Frank?
Yeah, okay, right. We have bring your own devices in our organization. So people were free to choose a device they would work from. And we use a combination of the old setup version of Citrix and Office 365. But you have to know that as a municipality, you have a very large set of legacy applications. So they were not available in the cloud and still aren't available in the cloud unless you do something smart with it. But that's a subject for later in this presentation. So people were most working through the old Citrix environment like we used to know it. And you have to know that our hardware where it was sitting on was old. It needed to be replaced. And our organization keep growing in numbers because the municipality is getting more responsibilities from the country. Like the government from the country is giving more responsibilities to the municipalities. So more and more work were coming, so more and more employees were coming, and we needed to scale our old environment. So like we used to know, like go to a remote desktop session from Citrix and then log in and you start your applications from there.
Yeah, so how was the user experience when you give people a brand new laptop, a Windows 10 device, choose your own, bring your own, that's fully supported with you guys, and then tell them, okay, and now you have to sign into a CNAP published desktop with Windows 2012 R2 on that small laptop screen. So you have a published desktop on the laptop screen and your local desktop. How was the user experience for those people?
Yeah, that was bad. It was bad. It's like buying a brand new car without the turbo.
Yeah, exactly. So Frank and I, we started brainstorming about the new workplace in 2019. That was really one of the problems that came out from users are just frustrated as hell. They feel like they are not being uplifted by IT, but they are can do less by IT just because launching an old school published desktop with Windows 2012 style on a Windows 10 device feels very wrong. And I think that even also the IT department with at your guys were doing a lot of manual work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they were doing creating the Active Directory account, setting the correct rights. Everything was done by hand. So that was also something that we need to take a look at. So this is really one of the key things that we always use in at Rawworks, this slide, and this is really if you place your users against IT, then you're actually placing your business against IT. So it becomes if IT does not uplift your users, it doesn't uplift the business. So that is really one thing that we saw in 2019 at Hollands Kroon. So now let's take a look at working in 2020. So we've done a large migration. You can even see we have now the Citrix, the new logo. And this was the wishes and the needs of the Municipality of Hollands Kroon. Users must feel empowered again by IT. Like Frank said, they didn't want to invest in new local hardware. The Hollands Kroon was a cloud-first company. And yeah, because Microsoft Azure is in the Municipality of Hollands Kroon, and the relations between Microsoft and Hollands Kroon are very good, yeah, they want to work with Azure. User experience is key, so the user must become centric in the workspace. Users must feel empowered. That's the same as the first one, actually. Do more work locally, so users want to feel more like they work on their device. And users want to get more done and be more efficient wherever the user works. So wherever the user is busy, if it's home, if it's on the office space, they want to be as efficient as possible. And that is, of course, logical because users at Hollands Kroon don't have set working times. So whenever and wherever they want to work, they want to be efficient as possible to get those deadlines done, because that gives them more free time. And a uniform platform. So Hollands Kroon had a Office 365 portal in which they had a few SaaS applications and Azure proxy applications. And they had the Citrix portal, which was storefront, in which they launched the public desktop, and that was separated. So these were the wishes and the needs. So what did we came up with at Rawworks? Well, at Rawworks, we have our own workspace proposition, and we call it the next-gen workspace, the intelligent workspace. And this is what we say. You only need a web browser to access that intelligent workspace. The intelligent workspace should give you access to SaaS, web, legacy, local, and mobile applications, give direct access to cloud and local storage, is built on security, built on cloud, built on automation as code. So we really believe in that everything that we deploy at the customer should be a automation script. Support hybrid cloud deployments. So even if you have some stuff on premise, it should work with the new workspace. Support API connections to make stuff smarter and do faster and efficient data, more use of the applications. Support data connections, so searching through data. Enable self-service. That is really also a big important thing. At Hollands Kroon, also the users are more responsible, and that also means that they are more responsible for their own device and their own way of working. And that is always a trade-off with IT management. So if you give more responsibility to the user, that can sometimes backfire, because there are some users that cannot handle all the responsibilities that come with being responsible for your own device and your own way of work. So that gives some more tickets at the service desk, and catching those tickets with self-service helps a lot. And we are going to go over that some bit more.
Yeah, and it's also needed because of our flexible way of working, because we don't have these working hours that always there's someone available to do your things. So it's better if you can do things yourself in the middle of the night, for example.
Yeah, so there's no 24/7 support. While users are encouraged to work 24/7 when they want, but there is not support at 24/7.
No, so we needed to improve that. So we did.
And of course, what we say is that the next-gen workspace should also support some AI and machine learning to make your tasks move faster. And really important, the user must be central. So the user-centric experience. So this is the technology stack that we came up with for the Municipality of Hollands Kroon. So we use the Citrix workspace, which is already built on security. The platform on which we built everything was Microsoft Azure. On top of that, we used Citrix Cloud as the backend. We used Chocolatey for packaging for applications. We used the Intune client for managing those bring your own and choose your own devices. We used Windows 10 multi-user and Windows 2019 as an OS layer for delivering legacy applications. On top of that, we have put our own product, so the Rawworks one app and one click service. These are, we'll go into that a little bit more, but our one app is connections that we custom built for you to applications throughout a micro app. So one app is creating a ticket in the ticketing system of Hollands Kroon. And this is a ticketing system that was not yet supported by a default Citrix integration. So we really needed to build that. So we did that with a one app. And one click is where we take big business processes and write them out and then search for what can we automate in that big process. And we want to start also that big process with a micro app button. And I'm going to show you an example of that later on with onboarding. So we also use Microsoft Azure DevOps to deploy some backend on Azure. We use Ivanti automation for the deployment of the golden images of the, not the golden images, master images for machine creation service. And we did a little bit with policy pack or some file type management. So this was the technology used. Now let's show you guys how a person in 2020 working at the municipality at Hollands Kroon works. So they got their Windows 10 devices. And what we did with Intune and Chocolatey, we created a package of the Citrix Workspace app. And we pushed that to the Windows 10 devices of the users. And we created a shortcut on their desktop, which is Dutch. It says Werkplekportaal Hollands Kroon. Let me translate that. It's Workspace Portal Hollands Kroon. And we gave everyone the instruction to start your work. Only thing you have to do is double click on that shortcut. And immediately you are in your work. So here under files, I can directly see my OneDrive of the Municipality of Hollands Kroon. I can, under apps, view all my apps. And of course, what we did was SaaS apps would start a web browser. And of course, we also have SaaS apps with single sign-on. So this is single sign-on to the SharePoint. And we, of course, did applications that were running internally throughout the website. We used the Citrix proxy. So that's the cloud gateway to go to internal websites. So this is an internal website that we are showing now. And then, of course, yeah, a municipality has a really big, really a lot of legacy applications. So what we did, we just used Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop to publish those applications within this same portal. So for instance, this is a municipality application. And yeah, a user can just click on it and the application will start.
And what's also important to know is that as a municipality, you have custom connections to secure environments. So it's not possible to proxy them to the outside. You have to keep them in the inside. It's by law.
Yeah, and another thing is, of course, that a lot of municipality applications use an Oracle data connection. So it is not really a good idea to put the client application directly on the Windows 10 device, and the Oracle database keep that centrally in the go throughout the VPN or anything connecting that Oracle data. Because if that VPN breaks, maybe the Oracle data becomes corrupt or whatever, or Oracle data is left behind on the client device.
And so latency is a user experience killer.
Yeah, so those Oracle applications, we all have to use that as a published application. So we're just sending the screen image throughout virtual apps and desktop to that user, and it delivers a great user experience. Another thing we did is that the moment when users click on this shortcut, The first thing that you saw was also that they have a single sign-on to the workspace portal. So we enabled single sign-on from the Azure AD device because the device is Azure AD joined. It automatically signs into the workspace portal, so that's great. And what we did is the moment you double click on the workspace portal, we use pre-launch to pre-launch a Citrix session so that applications are running a little bit faster when the people click on it. You saw there was some time when I clicked on this application and before it came, that's just because it's a large application which has its own loading time. But if I take now a smaller application, like let's do key to begraven, this will come a little bit faster. So here it is already. And this is a Java application. So what we've done is we publish Internet Explorer with the Java correctly in there. Because, yeah, this is also, even that it runs in Internet Explorer, it is a legacy application. It must be published because of that Java version.
Yeah, and it has a lot of server manual server connections in the background for document generation, etc.
Yeah, so we are just publishing this. And one great thing that that the user told us after the migration to this portal was, I believe it's called you, Frank, and it said, okay, is this application now running on Citrix or locally? I don't get it. I think that you came.
Yeah, they were lost. They were like, I don't see the shortcut anymore. I was running it on my laptop, but they actually weren't. They were running it in the cloud.
Yeah, and the conclusion was like, okay, does it even matter if you use running it on Citrix or locally? And it was, no, it just works. It's great. I'm happy. So that's really great. So this is how the users are working with their applications and data with the Citrix portal. And what I said, so we published this shortcut with Intune and Chocolatey. So I'm going to go over the microapps in a second, but I first have a few more slides to go to introduce you guys to the microapps at Hollands Kroon. Frank.
Yeah, like we were saying before, users are getting requests through our service desk at any given time, any given day. We had comments like, okay, you are telling us we can work on a Sunday, but if I need support on a Sunday, why can't I? I need access to an application on Sunday, but I cannot contact anybody on a Sunday to give me that application. So how are we going to do that? And if we are going to let admins do their job on a Sunday, what is the most lightweight way to do that? So Chris showed us how that was going to be done through microapps.
Yeah, so you also want to put those system administrators using the microapps. So how was that for them using self-service and not going to all their management tools and stuff, but just having a button? How was the experience for those users that are used to doing everything and now having a button?
Yeah, actually, the true story is we did this as a test case. Like, I was not thinking anything of it, and let's say, okay, let's do a short run and let's see how people are going to use it. And before we know it, it was an adopted way of working. everybody started using it, and we're saying like, oh, this is so easy. I can do my work so much faster now. Thank you.
Yeah, and even from our side at Rawworks, the most feature requests we get on the buttons on the microapps, like, oh, can you add this? Can you add that? That came from the service desk at Hollands Kroon, from IT administrators sitting there saying us, okay, we love that button. It does a lot of work for us, but can you add this, that? So that was great that interaction was there and that they were really using it, because if they were like, okay, I'm not going to do my work with the button, they would also not come with feature requests. So that was really great to see that they were really wanting to go for it. So let's continue with our demo, and let's take a look at our microapps. So we created a few microapps for Hollands Kroon. Well, the first one we create for all our customers, that is just Citrix Cloud Status. So what we do is we take a look at the API from status.cloud.com, and as soon as there is a new incident, this will pick it up and will show you the incident and will generate a notification, just like you see here, that there is maintenance. So that is just a really simple microapp. If we take a look at the next microapp, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go to the onboarding ID, and I'm going to tell you the ID behind it. So at Rawworks, what we have our one click and a one app. And this is a one click service. So what we did was we take a look at the onboarding situation at Hollands Kroon, and we found out that when there is a new user, that the IT service desk is informed there is a new user, and at that point someone was going manually to the Active Directory, pressing right mouse click, make a new user, going to create a new mailbox, setting the rights for that user manually, and then create a password manually, just thinking about the password and sending that out. And it took them about 30 minutes. So what we did, we created a button. So this is a button for a system administrator. And yeah, what this button does is just add a user to the Active Directory. Okay, it's here. So what it does is it gives just a few fields. So what a system administrator now has to do is it has to fill in a name, a prefix, and a last name. Then it can select who will become the manager. This is an important field for Hollands Kroon because on the manager they do some management reports. So that is important. And what you need to know is that all the data that you see here is directly from their local Active Directory. So we run throughout our one click service, we run a API as a service, on which we run a PowerShell script on the local AD, and the data that PowerShell script delivers is sent to Citrix with our API as a service, and that PowerShell script just asks the AD what are all the current managers at the moment. So if Hollands Kroon adds a new manager, then this field is synchronized every 4 hours, I believe, and it will show up here again. And the same is actually with departments. So here they have to choose a department, and these departments are OUs in the Hollands Kroon local Active Directory. And again, we sync those with PowerShell and API as a service. And the last thing that they then choose is the date that someone is going out of employment. So my colleagues at Rawworks are doing another session at Converge. It's called Notes from the Field and Moving Customers from VDI to Workspace app. And they are showing the technical behind the scenes of this API as a service. So if you want to know more, look for that session. It's done by Geon and Jeroen. So after they fill in all this, they just click the button, add user to AD, and everything is done. And what we've done was that everyone in the municipality of Hollands Kroon is put into 2 security groups, and then which department you select, you get some extra security groups, but the minimum level of that department. And then, of course, one of the system administrators, so this was great working together really with Hollands Kroon. One of those system administrators says, well, not everyone within the department has the same rights. There are some people who have extra rights. They use an extra application. So how can we fix that? So that's when we also created the self-service application access button. So with this button, users can ask for an extra application. So users can ask for an extra application. So what we got here is a list of all the applications available at Hollands Kroon. So these are all the municipality applications. And this is also, again, PowerShell asks the application groups, get the description of the application groups. These are the descriptions. And then does some filtering and put that back to a JSON, which is picked up by our API as a service, and then put in a micro app here. And of course, a user can ask for an application and then put here a reason why they need it. So I need this for work, and they can just press, I want to request this. What's really great is that the notification for this request is then sent to the administrators on their Citrix workspace on their home screen. So those system administrators, what Frank said, they are not working 24/7, but they do have the workspace also synced on their phones. And they now get a notification on their phones that someone wants to access this application. And immediately from that notification, they can approve or deny it. So instead of a system administrator signing in at night and going to the AD and putting that user there, they only have to approve it on their mobile phone at night. And then another script will run and put that user in that security group.
So even if you're watching the game, you can approve users to the groups.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so this is really great. And of course, we have created another button for the system administrators to view all the requests that have been done, and even go into a request and see what the status is, if it's approved or denied, and seeing who has done the approval or denial. So this one is approved, and it's I approved it, so they can see this, and then they can even again approve it or deny it again. So it was someone made a mistake, so it had to be removed from the group. You can decline it here. So this is really our one-click service, and then we of course have our one app service. So here you have the ticket system of Hollands Kroon. It's called Topdesk. It's a Dutch company that makes the ticketing system. And yeah, users just have this button, create a new ticket for the IT department. So here I have the Topdesk. I need to select a category. So let's choose the new Citrix environment. And I got a question. And the question is, how is this so awesome? And I can just shoot my ticket into the ticketing system like this. Of course.
And the old ways of doing this were like going to your web browser, going to the URL of the ticketing system, log in, go in with the categories, and select what kind of question you have, etc., etc. So you were like 10 clicks away from actually entering a Topdesk ticket, and now it's 2 clicks.
And what were users doing then? They were picking up the phone, right, to log.
Yeah, because it's easier to pick up the phone and call, and then the service desk employee needs to register the ticket, and so they are doing everything, and they were being held off work because they were on the phone constantly. And now it's possible for the colleagues inside the organization just to by doing one click, they will go to the Topdesk registration for a new ticket. So what we're seeing here is that our service desk employees are being able to do more work because they don't having the phone on their heads all the time.
Yeah, I think that we even have a slide also about that some more. They usually see the ticket history. Here they have the tickets, they can click throughout their tickets, they can even reopen the ticket. So 90% of the things that users do with Topdesk, we put that in a one-click solution right here in those buttons. And one thing we also created that's nice is creating a new Outlook appointment, even with the option that it is a Teams meeting and even with an address book. So I just want to show you guys that. So this is just create a new Teams meeting, something that people do a lot at Hollands Kroon. So here you can just fill in a meeting about presentation. I want to have the meeting with Frank. So here we have a search field that will search throughout the database. usually the Microapps are a little bit faster. So I'm sorry, maybe there's something going on at Citrix at the moment, but they are a little bit faster normally. So I want to have a meeting till, well, over 5 minutes. It is a Teams meeting. Let's talk Microapps. And this way they can just send out an Outlook meeting. So this is a great way to also do that right from your mobile with some easy fields.
Hey, I got a notification sound that you want to let's talk about Microapps.
Yeah, you get it immediately in your okay, so that's great. Yeah, I also got it reminded because I'm already a minute too late for our meeting, but we are doing the meeting, so that's great. So if I'm now looking at my home screen, I can see that there is a new ticket is generated in Topdesk, so that's great. So as a user, I get the feedback that my ticket is logged, and I get a ticket number. So this is now the number of the ticket, and I can view here the ticket. And if you go to the Microapps, we even have a button that says Open Tickets, and there I can edit my open tickets and can give a response and stuff. And the other notification that we see here is that a user called Twiest at Hollands Kroon wants to have access to Adobe. This is the notification that system administrators get. Because I am a system administrator and I requested it, I also get this. So here it says the reason is I need this for work, and I can do a approval or denial. So I'm gonna just approve this right from here. So the system administrator only has to click here, approval, and then they're done. So then the application is approved. And if we now wait another 5 minutes, a user, so the user in this case, also I will get a notification that I have now access to the application, and that I need to click on my username and then click refresh to see that application. So this is the demonstration of all the Microapps we built. We built another couple of ones, but I think that this is giving the clear picture. So let's do some more slides. Frank, you already talked about the Topdesk one, but again, to reiterate the return of investment on this.
Yeah, so like what I was telling you before is that the employees in our organization were calling the service desk because it were taking them too much time to go into Topdesk and log the make a ticket themselves. It was easier to pick up the phone and tell them what the problem was, and then our service desk was logging the tickets for them. And with the Microapp, users are going to it 3 times more faster. And one nice thing to see happening right now is that we can see that the number of tickets are actually growing. So it's not that our environment is performing worse. No, it's contrary. It's performing much better than before. But because people are more able to log a ticket, we see that they are doing it more steady. So it's also good for reporting, because now we can pinpoint where problems reside because they are using it so easily.
So users are also less likely to go into shadow IT, like, okay, I'm not going to report this, I'm going to fix it myself. I'm going to do something wrong on my laptop.
I'm going to complain on everybody about it, but not telling the people that needs to do the job.
Yeah. So they're now telling you those things. So, and it's of course not picking up the phone only to log a ticket frees them really up to focus on fixing those issues. So that's great.
Yeah.
So the other use case that we already talked about was onboarding. And what we do at Rawworks, we start with business consulting, getting the complete picture of that process. So that's also that I want to recommend anyone that's really automating all these kind of processes. So what you also see on the background is we really started with creating a workflow of the current process. So we've done interviews with people of the service desk, with people of HR, with IT, and getting the complete picture, writing a complete report, putting all those flow diagrams in there, and then that's the starting point, and then seeing from, okay, if we now automate this and this information, we can pass on throughout the script, throughout there, and really getting to that, okay, those processes are now 10 times more efficient. That is what our end goal is. So if we take a look at the return of investment, the IT service desk took 30 minutes to 1 hour for each account they created in Active Directory. every week they had to do this an average of 6 times. So that is 3 to 6 hours work every week. With our button, it now takes them 30 minutes a week. So they are now 5 minutes. It takes them to create that account with that button. So in the time they did 1 a week, they now do all in that same time. So that's really a big and easy to explain, easy to measure return of investment. And that is why I think that combining those micro apps with automation processes is really a good idea to make sure that you are accelerating your business. So the technology used for that onboarding, I already told it a little bit, but what we do is we start from a micro app form, which then talks to our API manager in Azure to make sure that everything we do from there is secure. So API manager uses OAuth authentication and a subscription key between these two. So making sure that you are authenticated, you are who you say you are when you're using our APIs. And that will then run a logic app, which will run a Azure Automation Runbook, which will run the PowerShell script on a hybrid worker on-premise at Hollands Kroon, modifying or getting data from their local Active Directory. So it's not Azure Active Directory, they use a local Active Directory, and then getting that throughout the same line back to the Workspace app. So this is what we call at Rawworks API as a service. And the nice thing about this, I didn't draw it in, but we deliver this throughout Azure DevOps pipeline. So all the components that you see here, we can deliver that with 1 click throughout the pipeline. And that is really the end of our presentation, Frank. So
nice.
I think that we quite good showed the way that Municipality of Hollands Kroon is different than other municipalities, that you are now also working with those micro apps and what it's accelerating your business. So
it's making a lot more flexible anyways.
Yeah, that's of course great. So Frank, from me, I want to really thank you helping us with this presentation and giving also us the opportunity to do this project with Hollands Kroon. I know that we from Rawworks are really grateful that we can work with you guys and that you guys really see the importance of being one of the first adopting new technologies and really putting those new technologies to work to make your way of work better. And that's great.
No problem. Thank you.